coach may be new, but the faces are familiar. Led by Big Ben, the Steelers are back in a familiar spot, division leaders. It's been a troubled start for Baltimore. Can Ray and the Ravens turn things around? Steelers-Ravens for the division lead at 8:30 Eastern on ESPN's Monday Night Football.
A division battle coming up on Monday night. We've got a battle within a team itself here. Hendrick Motorsports team with the 24 car of Steve Letarte leading the way for Jeff Gordon. AB.
Steve Letarte, I know we're on one to go. Assess your race so far.
You know, up and down, up and down. It got a little hairy there early. We got off sequence, and we were just fortunate the caution came in a timely manner to get us back on sequence with the leaders. But the DuPont Chevrolet's not bad. It's not great. You know, the track changes so much here in Texas as the sun falls. We're hoping it'll be good at the end.
Steve told me a minute ago he can't wait for the sun to set. Jamie?
And Chad Canals, that's what I was going to ask him about these ever-changing conditions. Chad, the way we're going with all these cautions, it's going to be dark. How much does that affect you guys?
It's going to affect us a whole lot if they don't turn the lights on. I can tell you that. It's going to be getting dark real soon. And, you know, I just don't understand why we've had this rash of cautions here throughout all these chase races. I wish we could get some green flag racing. I think that our car's really good. The guys have been doing a really good job on pit stops. Jimmy's been doing a great job on the track. We just need to race a little bit.
All right, they just want to go racing, Doc, so let's get back to it.
Let's get after it. Get this party started. Now you see the shade now coming across as the sun beginning to move down here in the Texas sky. Much of this track now has been shaded here out of turn 4 all the way out over into turn 2. As they come down, and the green flag will wave once again. Kyle Busch, who has led 4 times for now 81 laps, will lead him down. Behind him, Ryan Newman, Earnhardt Jr., and Casey Mears.
Well, Junior gets a big run off of turn 2, sailing down the back straightaway, clears all the lap traffic. Trying to run down the 12-car Ryan Newman right now. And it's 3 wide going into turn 3 right now, but Denny Hamel on the top.
You can see why Chad Canals gets so frustrated, because they can't get in a rhythm. They want to just get in a rhythm, run this race, and get to the finish. And with all these wrecks, and you see these guys run 3 wide again down the front stretch, I can see why he's so frustrated.
Look how dark it got in the windshields as they came out of turn 3 into turn 4, like someone just turned the lights out. Now they turn the lights back on here. You see Jimmy Johnson in the middle of this mess in here. Got to be careful tiptoeing toward the front.
Rusty, how hard is that when you're driving through these, these sun areas and then drive into the shade? Does it blind the driver, or is it hard to find your groove when you're looking at that?
No, absolutely. When you're driving into sunshine, like right there, as the sun's peeking through the bleachers, Andy, it's very hard to see your line and check the problem out. But Andy, take a look at this right now. Jeff Gordon, he's in a lot of traffic back here right now, and this is not good for him. This is where a mistake could be made, maybe not of his own doing. If a car spins, he hasn't been in this much traffic all day long.
And so's the 07 of Clint Boyer. So our top 3 contenders in the chase are in heavy traffic. Now Boyer goes by Johnny Sauter on the outside. Jeff Gordon trying to hug the bottom of the racetrack. Remember, neither Gordon or Johnson have ever won at this racetrack, and they both have had some horrendous finishes here. Johnson finished 38th because of getting caught up in a wreck back in traffic in spring. And we showed you at the top of the show, Jeff Gordon has had 2 very hard licks at this track by being tapped back in traffic.
This is the kind of situation I'm really glad I've got a veteran driver like Jeff Gordon. Here we got a problem with the 9-car, Casey Kane. He's got some contact here with the left front fender.
Well, it looks like he got into somebody, and the left front tire is flat. The left front fender's all bent in. And guys, we're still under green, and he's getting to the bottom of the track right now. He's going to lose a lot of time.
Yeah, he'll come on the pit road. We will not go caution at this point in time. There's no other debris on the track. Casey, the winner here, back in the spring of '06.
See these guys running 3 wide.
And he's been so
banging.
Andy, he's been so good all day long. It's a shame to see this happen to him. But Kyle Busch, man, we're back up front right now, and he's been strong. And look at those lap times. Folks, we got monitors up here in the booth right now. He's about 3.5 tenths faster than second place car. I mean, that's smoking.
What about Ryan Newman? You talk about a driver who's really hungry to get back to victory lane. There's been 78 races, folks. New Hampshire in the fall of 2005. Over 2 years, this Ryan Newman has gone to victory lane as he is trying to get up there and run with Kyle Busch. There's the 9-car of Casey Kane now making a pit stop. We'll show you what happened here to him just a moment ago. Watch the contact with the 70.
And something's wrong with Johnny Sauter's car. He's just slipping back through the field, and we saw a lot of guys splitting him 3 wide. Casey Kane jumped on the outside of him there and kind of got into the right rear quarter pound.
And boy, Casey had a lot of momentum trying to get around the outside of Johnny Sauter in that 70 and just couldn't get slowed down. And that left front tire just went down like that, guys. That just blew out easy.
little bit different body style. This is the car they had at Atlanta, ran so well for Casey King. Here is Jimmy Johnson, now going by the 29 of Kevin Harvick. That is for the 8th spot. What about Jeff Gordon? Well, he is being shown back in 15th position, trying to reel in Juan Pablo Montoya.
Just got to navigate through all this traffic and be careful right now. This is a time of the race where the track is changing big time because of the sun going down. And they got to keep up with these chassis changes and keep these cars out of trouble. As of right now, Jimmy Johnson has taken a 10-point lead over the 24 car of Gordon. Johnson in 8th, Gordon back in 15th.
Remember, the 48 car just took 2 tires on that last pit stop, so it's working pretty good for this 48 team.
I was talking earlier, Andy, about how good this team is right here, adjusting to the changing track conditions. And I wouldn't want to bet against Chad Knaus under these conditions, that's for sure.
25 car Casey Mears now closing in on Dale Earnhardt Jr. You heard Jr. talking about how the car was just so loose early in runs, but after about 25 laps, the car really started to stabilize a little bit. Now he's just trying to hang on to that spot. Neither he nor Mears, remember, made pit stops.
And boy, when a car is loose and you got another one right on your bumper, it makes you looser, makes it worse. And so Dale did the wise thing and let the 25 car Casey Mears by him, because he just can't stand him on his rear bumper right now. Makes him way too loose.
There comes the 11 car on fresher tires than both of these guys.
You know, these 2-tire changes, they make me nervous. I'd rather have 4 tires on them if I was a driver, knowing I got that good grip, because you see the 8 car falling back now because of only those 2 tires. And I'd have to second guess that. I don't know if that's the right decision or not, what they did there, guys.
Well, the 8 car stayed out. Actually, the 11 car took 2 tires on the last caution. But these guys have, like I said, the 11 car just took 2. The 8 car didn't take any on the last caution. So they got a little difference in tire strategies.
So I'd rather have had 2 than none, right?
Yeah, that's what you're trying to say.
158 laps in. 176 laps to go, and Kyle Busch trying to pick up his 2nd win in 2007. The younger Busch brother has led 4 times for 92 laps. Folks, NASCAR stock car racing coming your way from deep in the heart of Texas. Back with more from Texas Motor Speedway in a moment.
I'm Stan Barrett. This is the Sports Center Minute, powered by Vizio. 2 NFL records went down today when the Vikings took on the Chargers at the Metrodome. First of all, Antonio Cromartie of the Chargers set the NFL record for the longest play in history. He returned a missed field goal, 109 yards for a touchdown, but it wasn't enough for San Diego. That's because Vikings rookie running back Adrian Peterson had 296 yards rushing to break the NFL single-game record. Vikings beat the Chargers 35-17. In the latest BCS standings, Ohio State remains number 1, but LSU is up to number 2. Oregon is number 3, and Kansas rises to number 4 after crushing Nebraska yesterday. I'm Stan Barrett, and that's the Sports Center Minute.
Thank you very much. Back in Texas, and the 5 car is our leader. This broadcast is available in Spanish by activating your SAP button, presented by ESPN Deportes. Kyle Busch has led 4 times for 99 laps. Folks, we are 1 lap away from halfway here at Texas Motor Speedway. Been 7 caution flags thus far for 28 laps, 6 different leaders, 11 lead changes. And right now there are 23 cars on the lead lap, and the car that just got back on the lead lap a moment ago was Texas native Bobby Labonte. Let's listen in.
We're good. We're on the lead lap. Fair and square now, bud. Dude, that's right. I forgot. Thought I was racing that freaking 19 car. Okay, my bad. Hey, I'm back in the game. When that switch cut off, your mind was attached to it. Kidding. Well, I've been known to do that, so. All right, life is good. Life is good. Thank you guys for that. That was awesome. It's not your job to think. It's your job to drive. You're doing a hell of a job.
Bobby Labonte, the Corpus Christi, Texas native, is a 2-time pole sitter here. His best finished 3rd 3 different times. Is yet to win here at his home track at Texas Motor Speedway. Pretty pleased to get back on the lead lap, and as he said, be back in the game.
Yeah, that's what do you call it, Rusty? Feel good?
That's Mr. Feel Good right there. When you think you're out of the game and you're back in it, it's like, oh man, I forgot about that. Now it puts an extra step in him. Boy, take a look at his A car, Andy. You're watching lap times, pointing out to me He's got no tires in this thing, and he was the fastest car on the track that time.
Yeah, he's running them down now. He's got this car working up against that wall. Alan?
And what he's also got is right there, that white thing on the grill, that doesn't belong there. That would be a little bit of trash on the grill. Junior just called in on the radio just a minute ago, said his car is a little tight in the center of turns 3 and 4, means the front end is sliding a little bit. Talked about the trash on the grill, did not talk about any temperature concern at this point. And by the way, he did not hit when everybody else did at lap 134, so they're going to need to be in about another 10 laps from now if we don't see a caution between now and then.
Yeah, but with that debris on there, with the track cooling down, Alan, that's probably going to help a lot of things, and it won't hurt the engine, but it'll definitely help the handling as this track cools down.
Oh, I like that downforce. You put a little extra tape on the front of these cars, it makes the front end feel heavier, makes them turn better, but the bad thing is what Alan just said. He's going to come down pit road in 10 laps. That's not good.
Yeah, not good at all. You heard the radio communications a moment ago, and for more information on crew communications, you can log on to ESPN.com. Search word communications. We heard Dale Earnhardt Jr. say the car gets better in long runs, and it obviously has done that, but now his long run's about to end with the pit stop coming up pretty soon. Let's get you up to speed, starting with our leader, Kyle Busch and Dave Burns.
Yeah, Doc, and this car had a long run recently that worked out very well for the 5 bunch. That was at Lowe's Motor Speedway, where he finished 3rd just 3 races ago. Same race car, updated just a little bit, and then updated yesterday when he scraped the wall. The crew worked hard to repair that to make it just right, and they got it right. He's led a lot of laps and even had to give up the lead earlier under green flag conditions, Jamie.
And Ryan Newman right behind him. He said his car is pretty good. He's been in the hunt for a win multiple times in these chase races, but has not gotten it done. 5 DNFs in the last 9 races. As Doc mentioned, it's been 78 races since his last victory. They think they have the car to do it, and Roger Penske agrees that he does. But Ryan said right now his car just doesn't want to rotate, so he's working on fixing that. Right behind him is Denny Hamlin. Now, Denny Hamlin's raced here 4 times in Texas, finishing in the top 10 all 4 of those races. He's having himself a pretty good race. He's pretty solid. The car's balanced. He started 7th. He's 3rd right now. Let's go over to Alan Bestwick.
With Dale Earnhardt Jr., who is leading after not hitting when everybody else did at lap 134. He's fallen back to 4th now. And Andy talked about some of the fastest lap times on the track right now being run by this car. Remember, we heard from Junior earlier as our in-race reporter. This car does not like fresh tires. Takes a while to get going. He's had a long run now, but it's going to need the pit road in a little while, Dave.
And Jeff Burton right now into the top 5 after being as low as 42nd today. Remember, they had to fix that damage you can see right there on the right rear of the race car. Since then, very good, and good in traffic as well as in clean air. So Jeff Burton, a decent run, a great recovery for this team, Alan.
And Casey Mears is another one of the crowd that did not come onto pit road at lap 134. He restarted 3rd at that point. You can see he's only fallen back to 6th. So a good call there by crew chief Darian Grug if they don't get snagged by having to pit under green and then having a caution come out. Jamie?
And Martin Truex Jr. started on the pole. He's been in top 10 all day, 7th right now. He said his car's been snappy loose. He said wrecking loose. At one point, he just came over the radio, and for lack of a better term, he said his car is a piece of junk. So we'll see how that turns out for Martin Truex Jr. Right behind him, Jimmy Johnson. We talked to his crew chief, Chad Canals, under that last caution. He said they have a great race car. They just need to race. We need to have some green flag runs here and see how our car can perform. This is one of the team's favorite cars that has 4 wins under its belt, including 3 this year. Right behind him, Kurt Busch. You got to give him a hand, guys. Remember, he had those issues. He had that that left rear flat tire, say that 4 times, early on, and then he had to come in, and they had a problem. They had to change out that spring rubber and change the tire on that right rear. So he's forcing his way back to the front, and he currently is in 9th. Let's go over to Mike Massaro.
Before his last pit stop, Matt Kenseth radioed in and said his car was very tight and that the right front tire felt like it had 100 pounds of air pressure in it. They made an air pressure adjustment, also a wedge adjustment, and it seems like Matt Kenseth is much happier with the car. Says it's been coming to life, and we've seen it climb up the speed chart throughout the last couple of laps. The guy right behind him, well, he might have the opposite feeling about his race car. He's described it with one word consistently: terrible. unbelievable. And that's Kevin Harvick complaining about being loose in the center, tight off, and very bad in traffic. He's been very frustrated throughout the course of the afternoon with just about every change they made to that race car. Dave?
And Mike, frustrating might describe Clint Boyer's latest run. He restarted in the 12th position. He hasn't moved from there. On lap 154, he came over the radio and said tight again, unfortunately. And that's what has been biting this 07 car most of the afternoon, Alan.
And Jeff Gordon just came on the radio, told his crew chief, Steve Letarte, that's it. That's as fast as I can go. No grip in the right side tires. Look for them to be on pit road about lap 190 if we don't see a green. Caution, rather. We've got a green now, don't we there, Doc?